Hey fam, how's it going? Speed Duel Bro here, and in today's video we have Skilled Red Magician. Let's go. For the skill card we have Digging for Gold. For monster lineup we have 3 Skilled Red Magicians, 1 Beast of Tall War, 1 Lesser Fiend, and 1 Archfiend of Guilford. And then we have 3 Breaker the Magical Warrior. For spells we have 3 Book of Moon, 2 Allure of Darkness, 2 Soul Exchange, 2 Offerings to the Doomed, and 2 Hammer Shot. How to win / strategies. Now before we go over the game plan fam, let's review the cards here real quick, starting with the skill card Digging for Gold. It reads, activate this skill during your main phase. You can banish 3 cards from your graveyard, then draw 1 card. This skill can only be used once per duel. Now I'll go over later on in the video as to why I chose this skill card, okay? So sit tight. Next up, we have the star of the deck, Skilled Red Magician. It reads, each time a spell card is activated, place 1 spell counter on this card when that spell card resolves, maximum 3. You contribute this card with 3 spell counters on it. Special summon 1 Archfiend monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 card you control that you can place a spell counter on. Place 1 spell counter on it. So this card right here fam, it's very much like its skilled blue counterpart, except this time it's for Archfiend monsters. Next up, we have the Archfiend monster lineup. Now I know it doesn't say Archfiend in the name, but if you read closely, Beast of Tall War, this card is always treated as an Archfiend card, and then Lesser Fiend is also the same. This card is always treated as an Archfiend card. Now this one fam, Archfiend of Guilford, I really don't know if it's officially an Archfiend card, but since it says Archfiend in its name, I'll go with it. So just correct me if I'm wrong, okay? So why don't we read these effects, even though they're very non-effective or minuscule, but it's just good to know what our cards do, right? So let's read them real quick. Archfiend of Guilford. When this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 face-up monster on the field. Equip this card to that target. That monster loses 500 attack while equipped with this card. Next, let's read Lesser Fiend. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. And then Beast of Tall Wars just has the nice 2400 attack and 2150 defense. Not bad for a 6-star, you know? Okay, now that we've reviewed these cards, let's go over the strategies and how to win. Okay fam, so the way we're going to win the duel is we're going to utilize Skilled Red Magician's effects to the maximum. And this is where Skilled Red Magician is very different from Skilled Blue Magician, because Skilled Blue Magician's deck that I made way back then, the Skilled Blue Magician deck was catered to finishing off the opponent quickly and swiftly, because that boss monster in that deck was Swift Gaia the Fierce Knight. But with Skilled Red Magician, we want to kind of slow down the opponent and take control of the field. And the way we're going to do that is with our spell cards. So right here we have Offerings to the Doomed, and we also have Book of Moon. So as you can see, they're quick play spells, so they kind of act like trap cards in a way. But the point being here is that since they're spell cards, we can put the spell counters on Skilled Red Magician. Now I know Skilled Red Magician's stats are nothing to write home about, but we can use that to our advantage, okay? And here's how. Since Skilled Red Magician only has 1600 attack, this card tech choice of Hammer Shot is particularly effective, because a lot of the current speed duel monsters, especially in the competitive scene, they're gonna have more than 1600 attack. So Hammer Shot is super effective in this deck. And since we've been dumping all these spell cards, you know, since we've been using them a lot in one turn, we can potentially just use Digging for Gold and then draw that 1 extra card. And look at that, we drew Breaker the Magical Warrior. And so I want to show you a little neat combo too that we can do with Breaker, okay? So let's say the scenario is this fam. We had activated 3 spell cards. So we have our Skilled Red Magician with 3 spell counters, right? We got Breaker on the field with its spell counter. So we're going to use one counter here on Breaker to pop an opponent's back row. And then let's say we needed to get rid of another back row, right? Well, we can tribute this Skilled Red Magician so we can bring out one of the Archfiend monsters. And then Skilled Red Magician's secondary effect of you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one card you control that you can place a spell counter on. Place one spell counter on it. So we're going to banish the Skilled Red Magician and put another spell counter on Breaker. And now we can get rid of the opponent's second back row. You see, there's some unexpected utility with the Skilled Magicians. And yes, Skilled Blue Magician can do the same thing. Or if you wanted, fam, let's say this was the scenario. Let's say you had a Skilled Red Magician with 2 spell counters on it. Well, you can even banish the Skilled Red Magician in the graveyard to put that third spell counter on this Skilled Red Magician. Pretty neat. And yeah, activating the spell card shouldn't be too difficult because aside from the ones that we've shown already here, Offerings to the Doom, Book of Moon, and Hammershot, we also have Allure of Darkness and Soul Exchange. So I'd imagine that getting spell counters on Skilled Red Magician is very easy. And just a quick note, fam, when do you want to activate Digging for Gold? As soon as you have 3 cards in the graveyard, because you want to establish your control over the field as soon as possible. So yeah, fam, that's pretty much the strategy. It's basically utilizing Skilled Red Magician's effects, but we are going to slowly but surely take control of the field. We're not looking to swiftly OTK the opponent. If we can, then sure, go for it, but that's not the first goal of this deck. We're not a swift Skilled Blue. We're more of a controlling Skilled Red. Card analysis. The skill card Digging for Gold, one of the best generic skill cards in the game of speed duels, and in this deck it's particularly effective because we're able to activate these spell cards very quickly, so we'll have those 3 cards in the graveyard to banish so we can draw our 1 card. And then we play 3 Skilled Red Magician, the MVP of the deck, and the win condition of our deck. So make sure, fam, to always remember all the effects that Skilled Red Magician is capable of, especially the banishing in the graveyard to place 1 spell counter. And then we play this variety of Archfiend boss monsters. Now the reason why I decided to go with this lineup, fam, is because I wanted variety. And who knows, maybe Lesser Fiend's effect of banish any monster destroyed by battle by this card, it might come in handy. But if you wanted to be a wee bit more serious with this deck, then I would probably play just the 3 Beast of Talbor because 2400 attack is the standard. But if you do that, where's the fun in that? And then we play the 3 Breaker the Magical Warrior, such an excellent fit for this deck. Not only because it's a dark attribute, and now that I've mentioned that, fam, if you've noticed, all the monsters in this deck are dark attributes, so it coincides very well with Allure of Darkness. But going back to Breaker, as to why it's such an excellent fit for this deck is because of the spell counter mechanic. So we can potentially pop 2 back row with Skilled Red Magician and Breaker the Magical Warrior. And then we play the 3 Book of Moon. As everybody knows, Book of Moon is a great card. It's universal utility. It puts the opponent's monsters face down, thus shutting them down. And we can also dodge the opponent's back row. But the fact that it's a quick play spell, meaning we can use it on the opponent's turn too, that just helps us win the duel even more. It just supports our win condition through Skilled Red Magician. And then the 2 Allure of Darkness, as mentioned earlier, every monster in this deck is dark attribute, and the fact that it's an easy spell card to activate for Skilled Red Magician, so we got some good synergy here. And then we play the 2 Soul Exchange. Now this, fam, I felt was kind of necessary because of our boss monster lineup here. Let's be real, our boss monster lineup, it's not the greatest, it's not stellar. So at the very least, we can at least try to regain control of the field with Soul Exchange. And also, Soul Exchange is another easy spell card for Skilled Red Magician. And then we play the 2 Offerings to the Doom. Now this is just another good quick play spell for us to have in our arsenal so that Skilled Red Magician is protected and he can gain his effects. And yes, I know Offerings to the Doom has that drawback of not being able to draw the next draw phase, but hopefully Digging for Gold and Allure of Darkness can kind of remedy that problem, that little setback. And then we play the 2 Hammer Shot. This is purely just tech choice, fam. The reason why I like it in this deck is because Skilled Red Magician only has 1600 attack, so I'm pretty sure that whatever the opponent decides to play, it's going to be stronger than our monster. So not only did we destroy the opponent's monster, we also got a spell counter off of it. Alright fam, moment of truth. Where does this deck rank on the power scale? In my humble opinion, this deck is casual. Now, the reason why I say it's casual, fam, is because let's be real, our monster lineup, they're not exactly the strongest. And not only that, our boss monsters, they don't have game-breaking effects. But where the real fun with this deck, fam, is you and a friend, pick your color, skilled red or skilled blue, and face each other. But wait, fam, there's still one more skilled magician out there, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, as I've said, this deck is casual, fam, and as with casual decks, don't expect too much out of it, just have fun with it, okay? So there you go, fam, that's the deck. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to hit the like button, helps me out a lot. And if you haven't already, subscribe to me, your Speed Duel bro. You're more than welcome to subscribe because 2 things. 1, I always play to win, and I'll teach you how to win. And 2, if you love speed duels, I'm sure you'll love me too. Your Speed Duel bro. Alright fam, that's it for now. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace!